John, would there be any cautions that you would have for this new Reformed movement you referenced earlier?
Oh, yeah. And I'll give you one that's just fresh off a prophetic word that was given to me yesterday. Take it or leave it for whatever. I'm cautious about things when people come to me with these kinds of things, but it rung true, and you can get it without having any claim to special divine authority. Making theology God instead of God. Loving doing theology rather than loving God. Somebody said to me one time, Sam Crabtree it was, hi Sam, if you're there, the danger of the contemporary worship awakening is that we love loving God more than we love God. That was very profound. And you might love thinking about God more than you love God, or arguing for God more than you love God, or defending God more than you love God, or writing about God more than you love God, or preaching more than you love God, or evangelizing more than you love God. Reformed people tend to be thoughtful. That is, they come to the Bible and they want to use their minds to make sense of it. And the best want to make sense of all of it. Being that kind of person that we're prone to systematize and fit things together, those kinds of people, me, are therefore wired dangerously to begin to idolize the system, and I don't want to go here too much because I think the whiplash starts to swing the other direction. And so minimize system and minimize thinking and minimize doctrine that we start losing a foothold in the Bible. So that would be a big caution, that we be intellectually and emotionally more engaged with the person of Christ, the person of God, the Trinity, than we are with thinking about Him. And they are inextricably woven. But the reason you're reading the Bible and the reason you're framing thoughts about God from the Bible is to make your way through those thoughts to the real person. The danger of those who do the other thing, namely all that intellectual stuff, no, doctrine, no, intellect, no, study, no, experience, yes, is that they wind up worshiping a God of their own imagination. It feels so right, it feels so free, and feels so humble because they're not getting involved in all those debates. But it isn't. It's losing their grip on reality. We are compelled to go there. So hand in glove with that is pride. Not just, that is a species of pride. When I say there are many species of pride, that's just one of them. You can call it intellectualism if you want. There's emotionalism over there. That's not the danger right now. Intellectualism is a species of pride because we begin to prize our abilities to interpret the Bible over the God of the Bible or the Bible itself. When I asked Rick Warren, Bible, tell me your doctrine of the Bible, he said, inerrant, authoritative. But I don't mean all my interpretations of it are inerrant and authoritative. And that's of course right. We should talk that way. So that would be my flag, the danger of intellectualism.
What are the dangers that you see facing the recent movement of young Reformed Christians?
Wow. Conrad Murrell said this one time. He said, you can go 1,000 miles that way and walk in falsehood. You can go 1,000 miles that way and walk in falsehood. But to walk in the truth is like walking on the edge of a razor blade, and you can fall off either side. And there are dangers in anything, any endeavor, any attempt. There are dangers in the Christian life that we fall off one side or the other. The young guys who are serious about historical Christianity and truth and living out their faith in the context of 2,000 years of Christian history, the young men who have seen the Reformation truths and want to embrace them, I applaud that. But they need to understand something. there's more than the intellect in the Christian life. To grasp these things intellectually is one thing. For them to become realities in our life is another. To grasp these things intellectually is one thing. For them to become realities in our life is another. You sum up all of correct doctrine as it's revealed in Scripture, you still do not have Jesus. This is pointing us to Jesus, showing us who Jesus is. But it doesn't equate with a relationship, a living relationship with the risen Christ. And that must be cultivated. We ought to study deep. We ought to pray long. To the young budding theologians, I would tell them this: don't ever buy into the lie that doctrine or theology kills or takes away zeal. True doctrine, true theology will increase zeal. But study is not enough. Most of the older men that I have talked to, one of their greatest regrets has not been that they did not study enough, but that they did not pray enough. If you're going to go for the deep truths, you must stay on your knees, or you are going to become large-headed, off-balanced, calloused, hard, and proud. But if you will couple your intellectual endeavors with that of prayer, if your intellectual endeavors will just be a means of knowing God, then you'll do all right.